Okay, everybody, I'm so excited today because I am joined by Teresa Palmer, who's back on the show, and for the first time, Florence Hunt, who both play Alice and Connor in Mixtape. How you guys doing today?
Good,
Hello, so good to be
thanks.
back.
Good.
Yes, I'm excited
Teresa,
for
you've been on the
this.
show before.
Yes.
Yes,
Sick.
So
yes,
I
I
remember
was.
today, I'm like, hey again, hi, hello. Oh my God, reunion.
Yes, I love it. Teresa, when you pick up a character from a book, is there a limit to how much of yourself you let yourself instill into the character?
I think no matter what, your own essence bleeds into the character. But in this situation, it was someone who's dealing with some very intense trauma. And she's sort of practicing the art of splitting, where she just sort of splits that part of her life off and she's reinvented herself. So there were certain elements of my own personality that I didn't want to put through to the character. I am much more outgoing than Allison. And there's sort of this beautiful reservedness about her, and she's more observant and she's quieter and she's constantly dealing with this wound, and this secret, this former self that she never talks about. She's such an enigma. So in this situation I was like, oh, I'm gonna be quite reserved in this. It's gonna be challenging for myself. um I dug deep. I found the quieter sides to myself for this role.
No, I love that answer. And it's cool that you're able to do all those different types of personality traits, even ones that might not be your actual self. And Florence, just hearing all that, I'm wondering, were you in contact with Teresa before even shooting about how you're going to approach Allison? Is there things you kind of had to kind of get on the same page with?
Yeah, so I was cast when Teresa had a couple of days left filming. So she kind of did her thing separately. When I was auditioning, the director, Lucy, was she'd just come off a really long day filming. So we were actually very, very separate, and we met for 10 minutes, which was really nice. And that was at the beginning of my filming journey, so that was really nice for me. But Teresa here she was on her own.
I love that. No, but that's cool that you guys kind of collaborate like that. And it's
Yeah.
interesting, Teresa, you play around in so many genres. I love when you do horror. It was awesome to see you do action with the Fall Guy. But what is it about romance that really appeals to you?
Oh, it made me feel so nostalgic for my first love. And that, you know how just intoxicating that feels. I think a first love is so unique. It's really overwhelming and potent. It's the only thing you can think about, and it feels like it's just the biggest feeling in the world. And that was really fun to explore again. I even whipped out my old playlist from my very first love, and I would listen to the songs being like, oh my gosh, I remember just looking into each other's eyes and crying and listening to this music, and it was just so funny. So that's for me, it was just nostalgic, and oh, this is a good feeling. Like telling this story feels really good.
Yeah, and speaking of nostalgic vibes, Florence, you get to be the Allison that is in 1989. So, was there anything in that time you noticed you really enjoyed how they did things compared to today?
Yeah, I feel like literally just making a mixtape, which I was so embarrassed that I had to be taught how to make a mixtape. Um, but like it just seems so much more romantic, like making a mixtape as opposed to making a playlist. But the fashion, like when we filmed scenes with other young people who were playing like 80s friends of ours, it was just like the hair, the fashion, um, things like that, and also doing the accent was so fun. Like I'm not from Sheffield, so that really like unlocked something. But yeah, it was like stepping into. I felt nostalgic even though I wasn't there. Maybe that was just because of the films I've watched, but it was really like stepping into the 80s for real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got to time travel, which is kind of cool. And
Yeah.
it's interesting you both bring up playlists and then the show mixtape, and you see the mixtapes in the show. This question is going to be for both of you, but first, Teresa, if you can answer, what would be the songs you would want today on a mixtape given to you?
Well, I'm gonna go with old school songs. I'm very big into New York underground 90s rap.
Oh,
So
okay.
I would love Big L, Master Ace, Mob Deep, KRS-One, which is really surprising. People always like, wait, what? But that's what I love to listen to. It's hardcore rap. It's so hard to find clean versions of those 90s tracks to play in the car with my kids. So I'm always like, here, quick, just skip over that one. That one's inappropriate. That one is also inappropriate. But yeah, that's the music I love listening to still. My husband's like, you are stuck back when you're 15 years old. You have not evolved. You're still listening to the same music. But that is what I love.
Oh, wow. That I am surprised. That's amazing that the swagger you have, Teresa. That's great. So, Florence, I'm guessing you're into like metal as the mixtape. Is that what your kind of cup of tea is?
um, yeah, I honestly, I'm just the creature of my generation. I'm a massive Billie Eilish fan. So like the older Billie Eilish songs, not the current ones, which are my favorites, but like the old Billie Eilish
Yeah.
songs. I feel like something songs without words as well can be so meaningful. So I haven't got any in mind, but a song without words.
Oh, I
Yeah,
like that a lot.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
that that is beautiful.
No, great answers, both you guys. And Teresa, it's awesome that you do a podcast with the Mother Days, and it's cool that you conduct celebrity interviews on it. So, is there any beliefs you found that you believe on how to do a good interview?
Um, do you know what? Sometimes not being over prepared is better and just allowing the flow of the conversation to go. I remember we were interviewing Jessica Alba and I had so many written questions for her and I did so much research and I was like, okay, I know what I'm going to ask her. And I was like a bit nervous because she was a really big celebrity for us to have on the show. And then she started opening up about her family life and stuff that I was like, I cannot even believe she's talking about this. And so I just threw out all my questions and I just listened to her. And then I fed her sort of questions based on what she was saying. And we got the most incredible interview from her. And I was like, oh, there goes my like 5 hours of preparation, like diving into every single interview. So I actually think being present and being moment to moment and just literally observing, listening, and being in the flow of the interview, that has been when we get the best responses and we get like a really good rapport going.
Oh, that's amazing. And it shows in your interview. So, very cool. Very, very cool. And Florence, with Vulture ranking you as their favorite Bridgerton and the show known to grow an audience every season, which is awesome, especially on Netflix, what would you say is the secret to your early success?
Oh God, I don't know about that. Well, I guess I started acting at a young age, um, and I really put my time in with a lot of clubs, and I used to travel up and down. My poor parents, bless their souls, they had to take me down, and I've spent many hours of my life on trains. So yeah, I guess just the the root of it is having the love for what you do. I think, and we can probably all agree, like if you love what you're doing, um, it becomes natural, which is what you want. So yeah, but I've been very fortunate, and I'm very fortunate to be part of Bridgerton. I thank my lucky stars every day because I auditioned for that when I was 11. So
Oh my
thankfully, I was having a good
God.
day. So yeah, I know, crazy.
Wow.
It's
Yeah,
amazing how it's like part of your life like that. So pretty cool and really good
yeah,
advice. So I'm excited
yeah.
for everyone to see you and Teresa just kill it in mixtape. It's premiering this Sunday at SXSW. Thank you two for joining me, and I hope to talk to you in the future.
Thanks for
Thank you
having
so
us.
much. It's so
Yes.
fun. Thank you.